Hello, this is Dr. Llewellyn, and I'm going to make for you just a quick little resource on how to look things up on the library website for your essay. It's really very easy. So I'm going to start here at the main page. We are going to look up where the library is. So see what I did? I went to menu, and then you go down to library. And now I'm on the library page. If I want to find out more about coronavirus, I can read this, but I'm going to look at that later because there isn't anything new. So let's start with looking up a book, or as they are most often called, a monograph. So a monograph is a detailed written study of a single subject. Now, it might be a book written by one author, or it might be a collection of essays written by different authors. But either way, a monograph is, again, a detailed written study of a single subject. So let's just, if you're on campus or even want to look up ebooks, let's just go to the PLU Library website and look up a book on early Christianity. Okay, so I'm just putting that in there. I'm clicking go, and let's see what comes up. So right away, I get 60,248 books in the PLU library. This is a really nice, time to say, or to point out that the religion department has actually one of the largest collections in the library, and it's because we make you read books. Now, not every one of these 60,000+ are books. You can see over here, some are articles, and 3,325 are books. Of those 53,000 articles, look, 3,000 are downloadable. So that's good news. Now, this is a very general term, right? So we're going to get just general things. Some of these, if you're not on campus, let's see if there's ebook options. Sort by print book. Well, okay, there's a difference here, 3,097 and 3,325. So that means there are some ebooks. I wonder if I click on that. Yeah, that's just giving me print books. Let's see. Okay, good. So if you're not on campus, you can look at, I don't care about those. You can look at ebooks. Okay, so great. Look at this. We've got 171 ebooks with the subject of early Christianity. Earliest Christianity within the boundaries of Judaism. Oh, the making of fornication. That looks fun. Studies in ancient Judaism and early Christianity. The Didache, a missing piece of the puzzle in early Christianity. All kinds of things, all kinds of options. This one looks like just a general study of Christianity. Looks good. This is an encyclopedia. Now, you can't use an encyclopedia in an essay, but they're fun to explore. Okay, so we've got some things to choose from in terms of ebooks. Okay, this looks interesting. Violence in ancient Christianity, victims and its perpetrators. Now, these are things that I got just by putting in the very general early Christianity. I can, make this more specific. Early Christianity, look at my options that are coming up, and Judaism, and doctrine, geographical expansion, reasons for growth, in the Lysis Valley. Interesting. I'm going to put in early Christianity kin. Chinese American voices from the gold rush to the present. Now, this is not one that would work for our class, but this is how you learn what will and what won't. Let's try early Christianity Perpetua. There we go. Passion of Perpetua and Felicitas, women in early Christianity. Here's our selection of primary sources. This is a great book, Redeemed Bodies, Women Martyrs in Early Christianity. This is a great book, Posthumous Salvation of Non-Christians in Early Christianity. Ooh, Elizabeth Castelli, this is a great book. So if you're on campus, okay, or if you're local, there are some great options for your resources for your essay. All right, now let's take a look at how to look up an article. Okay, so we're going to go back to the main thing here. No, we don't want to know about coronavirus. There are a couple ways you can look up articles. Okay, so let's just start with our early Christianity again. And I'm going to put in articles, and it went away. All right, now it's giving me, there's the 53,000, right? Okay, so again, this is all just very general and really not helpful, okay? Ooh, Jeffrey Dunn, he's such a nice man. So let's put early Christianity, let's do shame. Well, that's not going to be helpful, but this might be interesting. History of early Christianity, saving shame, Christian martyr saints, and other abject subjects. Now we want to make sure this isn't a book review, okay? We want to make sure this is an article and not a book review. So I'm going to take a look at it. So I clicked on the title, view full text, and that went nowhere. That took me to something else. And this is sometimes what scholarship looks like. I'll try this one. Okay, it's telling me that I can find it in these places. So I'm going to just try the first one. Here it is, Saving Shame. So as I thought, this is a book review. So this is not an article or an ebook, okay? This is a book review of Virginia Burroughs's book, Saving Shame. So that's not going to help me. So we got to go back and keep looking, okay? Elizabeth Clark, let's try this. Sex, Shame, and Rhetoric, Engendering Early Christian Ethics. She's great. Let's try this. View the full text and see if it happens. There we go. Okay, now we're getting something. So I can click on the PDF and there it is. All right, now what this gives me the opportunity to do is go through and look at the article and see what Elizabeth has to say about this topic. And I'm just going to read this here. The Church Fathers, I shall argue, attempted to construe a gendered disciplinary apparatus through the rhetoric of shame. Discipline by shame at times required an audience of human others, but rested ultimately upon one divine other, whose all-seeing eye pierced the most intimate moments of its human objects. That sounds fascinating and super creepy. So I want to read this. And Elizabeth Clark is amazing. She is a revolutionary scholar in my field. So there are a couple of ways you can save this article. Personally, the way I would do it is I would download it, load it, and then it's going to save on my desktop. So I'm just going to put Sex, Shame, and Rhetoric Clark. Okay, and you can do that too, and then you've got the article for later. So that's one way you can look up an article. Okay, so let's go back to our you can also, if you were doing your paper on, let's try Tekla now, and see what comes up. And I'm still going through the PLU library here. Now I don't want a book, that's a book. I'm looking for articles, okay? So not getting much here, okay? So, but this isn't the most effective way to look up articles anyway. And keep in mind, you might need to spell names differently sometimes. Not helping. And for an article. There we go. A modest apostle, Tekla and the history of women in the early church. So interesting. So it looks like this is a book review. Okay. This one does not appear to be a book review. Socioeconomic status in early Christianity and Tekla's rejection of marriage. So if Tekla was your primary source and you were doing something on kinship, or even patronage, right? So that's what's going on here, right? So that would be possibly a good article too. Okay, so it looks like this is giving you lots of options for seeing the article. Okay, and then there's another way to look up articles. Let's go back to the main page here of the library, okay? And you can go to the research guides, okay? So you click on research guides, and then you go down and you click on religion, go to religion, and the very first one is really just the main one you need, the Atla Religion Database, okay? And you can do all of the same kinds of things we've been doing. Early Christianity. Let's put in patron and see what happens. Maybe nothing, but maybe something. Okay. Guardian angels and angelic national patrons in Second Temple Judaism and early Christianity. Mission identity and ethics in Mark. Jesus, the patron for outsiders. Now here, let's think about this, right? So okay, so your paper cannot be on the Gospel of Mark. It's not going to be on Jesus, but Jesus as a patron for outsiders could impact the paper that you're writing. Okay, so this is a perfect example of you would probably want to take a look at that and maybe spend a little time with that article. It sounds interesting. Sensitivity towards outsiders, exploring the dynamic relationship between mission and ethics in the New Testament and early Christianity. Again, this says New Testament, but also early Christianity. So that might be useful too. Let's try something more specific though. What if let's say that you were going to do your paper on Tertullian, and excuse me, notice that it says Tertullian and Tertullian of Carthage. Tertullian of Carthage is the same person as Tertullian. Putting that in there might make it a little more specific and helpful. And let's put Tertullian of Carthage and women, because he's got some things to say about women. Ooh, look at that. Only one came up, but it looks good. Wear the armor of your shame, debating veiling and salvation of the flesh in Tertullian of Carthage. Okay, so you can click on the title, or you can click on this where it says check PLU for full text. Okay. It says 3 ways we can get it: from the publisher, from this journal, or from interlibrary loan if they don't have it. But let's see if those links will take us there. Okay, here's the abstract. So the abstract is, this is what the article's about. Employing Judith Butler's conception of performativity, I consider how Tertullian connects veiling to his conception of salvation of the flesh, and why he perceives the virgin's unveiling a visible contestation of that vision. Interesting. I want to read this. Okay, but it's not giving me the whole article. It's only giving me an abstract. Okay, so how am I going to get the article? I can try this way. It gave me a second option. Okay, all right, so it's giving me let's see, where was it? Volume 39, number 2. Okay, volume 39. Well, if that's 49, let's see, where are we? 28, let's try up in here. Volume 38, got to go to 2000. Wait, what am I doing? Volume 38. So 2010 would be volume 39. Okay. Number 2. Again, this is just what you have to do sometimes to find these things. All right, let's find it. There it is. Okay, and it's going to let me have a PDF. And here it is. So again, I'm going to save this where the armor of your shame. Okay. Oh, I spelled armor wrong. Well, it's all right. It's on my computer. Now, if I couldn't get it through any of these, I could also order it from Interlibrary Loan. And that is a system that you can set up on your own. And once you get your username and your password in there, you just click to log on, and look at that. It fills it in for you. You just put in any date. It doesn't matter what date you put in as long as it's past tomorrow. And then you submit the request. I'm not going to submit the request because then the Interlibrary Loan librarian would write me and say, we've got this. So you can only do that with stuff we don't have. Okay, so I've shown you now a couple of ways you can look up articles, a couple of ways you can look up both books and ebooks. And so you have basically all the tools you need to do your research paper. Okay, have a great afternoon and happy hunting.